Anyway, we'll move on from that hot, steamy pile of poop to the next matchup. We got the return, or even before that, we had the Dudley Boys come out, address the Wyatt family. And this is the feud I've been looking forward to for a while now. They've been teasing this on Twitter for a couple months. I'm happy they're doing it. Both teams have a lot of credibility. I'm sure the matches could be good. The match last week on Raw was good for the time it got. But anyway, the Dudley Boys called out the Wyatt family. And Wyatt family comes out, says, who are you going to have? And, it's 4-on-2. What are you going to do? You're outnumbered. And they said, we got one more member of the family. I was fully expecting Spike Dudley, as I'm sure many people were. But out instead came Tommy Dreamer, making his first WWE TV appearance in nearly 3 years, which was also in Philadelphia, unsurprisingly. He got a great pop because ECW country. So they took the fight to them. They had an impromptu six-man tag team match. Fine while it lasted. Ended on a DQ. I'm sure we're going to get a tables match of some sort, maybe with a fourth guy at TLC. So it speaks volumes. The highlight of Raw last night was the return of a 40, 50-year-old guy, an ECW veteran that was relevant 20 years ago. But, RJ, you were there. I popped big for Tommy Dreamer coming out on Raw. I love seeing the old Dream guy. He's awesome. I've been a huge Tommy Dreamer fan forever, but it was great seeing him. It looked in good shape. The match was good, and I like the idea of a Wyatt family Dudley Boys feud. I wouldn't go so far as to say the Dudley Boys are jobbers. I just feel like they're doing their job, no pun intended, in putting over the younger talent. And that's what they came back to do, so I'm not really mad at that. I feel like it's good. And working with the Wyatt family should be a great tag team feud that isn't over the tag team title, so I'm all for that. But, RJ, your thoughts on the return of the heart and soul of ECW and the six-man tag team match. Where do you see this going?
Well, I like to see Tommy Dreamer back. I didn't pop as much as you did, but Tommy Dreamer's always been around since I started watching wrestling, so big fan of Tommy Dreamer. But it's good to see him back. But like you said, the Dudleys really aren't here to job, but they kind of are. They're not considered losers because they're the Dudley Boys. They're the 20-something time tag team champions, so they're not, like you said, it's like if the Undertaker started losing.
It's like the John Cena of the tag team division, pretty much.
So they're, like you said, they're coming back just to put over the young talent, which they should be doing anyways. Like you said, they should get a title run in there eventually, but as of right now, they should just try to get the Wyatt family over. They get hot and then lose, so someone needs to get them over. So I guess the Dudley Boys are gonna take the nail on the head, I guess.
Hear that, John Cena? They're gonna put him over. Gonna put these guys over. On the note of the Dudley Boys title run, I feel like it's gonna happen, or it should happen anyway, at WrestleMania. 20 years of celebrating in the business come April. It writes itself. They should give them the belts then in a match with like the Usos or whatever. It would be awesome. That's a dream match I've been waiting for a while. Usos, Dudley Boys. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was probably one of, if not the best part of the entire show, and that speaks volumes, like I said, when it's an ECW veteran that was relevant 20 years ago. But glad to see Tommy Dreamer. Good match, good segment. I'm excited to see where it goes from here. We'll talk about the fourth member in a minute. But Arden, what were your thoughts on the match and the return of Tommy Dreamer to WWE?
That segment before the match in which we saw Tommy Dreamer return actually was one that intrigued me quite a bit, because there was one where it was like, oh, now this is what I'm talking about. Something where, you're going along for the ride. You don't really know what's up. And even before Tommy Dreamer came out, I even liked the concept of seeing those tables behind the Dudley Boys and having their names and having the names of the Wyatt family on there. I thought that was a good idea. And, of course, Bubba and Devon were good on the mics. They did what they're supposed to do. We all know how good Bray is. But I think that segment in itself, even if it didn't have Tommy Dreamer return, for me, it was just good enough because it got to the point. It had my attention. It was just Tommy Dreamer's return along with the reaction of the crowd took it over the top. It really did. It was something where it was like, man, that's definitely good. And the match, the match to me was secondary because of the segment, because the segment was good enough. So it was only about, hey, let's just try to finish this off, especially since the last part of the segment was Bray Wyatt, ironically enough, saying, oh, come fight like a man, which I thought was hilarious. But in general, I really liked the segment. That, to me, was one of the main highlights of last night was that segment.
Agreed, and they probably could have held off on the match itself. I was surprised when they came back from commercial and the match was just there. Like, I was kind of shocked about that. I thought they would save it for TLC, and they still can do it at TLC, whether it's 3-on-3 and a six-man tag, or 4-on-4 with a returning fourth person, which we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, I thought the segment was good. I mean, it really all goes back to two things, in my opinion, or that we didn't really talk about. One, in that a surprise in wrestling nowadays is so hard to come by because everything is spoiled online and no one saw that coming. There were no rumors of it. I mean, it's not like Tommy Dreamer is like freaking Hulk Hogan or something like that, but he's still a notable name, and if someone saw him backstage, they would have spoiled it, so it was cool that was kept a surprise. And also, too, it was great because I love that Bubba Ray is finally getting more mic time because he showed in TNA. The guy is an awesome mic worker, and I'm glad they're finally giving him the chance to go out there and show his chops in the mic because he's a really good talker. So that's what I enjoyed about the segment. But like I said, it looks like nothing, reported or confirmed or whatever, just kind of going off pure fan speculation right now. It looks like we might be getting a 4-on-4 tables match, supposedly, at TLC with the Wyatt family versus the Dudley Boys, Tommy Dreamer, and maybe one more person to even the odds, to even the score. And I'll give my prediction in a second. But Arden, do you see anyone joining the fray here on the side of the ECW Originals, Dudley Boys, and Tommy Dreamer?
Oh, yeah. If they do bring somebody, I hope it's Rob Van Dam. I know that's very typical, but why not? You might as well complete it all. I mean, you got the Dudley Boys, you got Tommy Dreamer. If you're looking for a fourth member, definitely bring back Rob Van Dam. To me, I think that makes the most sense.
That's what I've been seeing all over online. Like I said, I think that'd be awesome. Rob Van Dam just hearing one of a kind. Plus, we'll go crazy at TLC. And RJ will be there. Popping huge. You'll be hearing me from Lodge 5 with my thumbs over my head doing the old Rob Van Dam. Would go crazy for the return of RVD. And the guy was, when he was around, he was over. Like, he was here to put people over, too. Same role as the Dudley Boys. But they need to give him a storyline. At least, like, the Dudley Boys, they're losing, but they have feuds going on right now. Like, Rob Van Dam never had that. And I feel like if they bring him back, this would be the perfect time to do so. Either him or Spike Dudley, but I feel like RVD, being a former world champion, would get the bigger pop. More people will know who he would be because he was around last year. And you can get a great match out of him at TLC. So I'm all for Rob Van Dam coming back. RJ, your thoughts on RVD maybe being the fourth guy, or anyone else you have in mind?
I think it'd be sick of the Sandman.
I was gonna say, enter the Sandman, dun da da dum.
Like him coming through the freaking crowd, the cane, smashing beers up his head. I go nuts.
Hopefully, he doesn't wrestle a match, but
no, I hope he's in the match. It'd be perfect.
The guy's an awful worker, but
he's not a great worker, but he's a great character. That'd be a big surprise.
With 7 other people in the match, he would be protected though.
Exactly. Just throw him through a table and he'll drink a beer and it'll be fine. Sandman. I like to see RVD too, but I think Sandman would be great.
Enter the Sandman.
The cane, head bleeding already.
I'm thinking Enter the Sandman by Metallica. They didn't use that in WWE.
No, he was like just a regular, like, I don't even notice music.
Yeah, it was like some generic ass piece of shit.
It was still good though.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I liked Enter the Sandman though, but Sandman or RVD? What about Sabu?
Sabu doesn't do it for me.
Terry Funk, even at 60 years old, you don't want to see that? Terry Funk. I'm trying to think of other ECW guys. Balls Mahoney. How about that?
I would hate to see
Balls Mahoney. I'm trying to think of the schmucks they brought in for like the TNA ECW reunion a couple years ago. Nunzio, maybe? The FBI?
Johnny the Bull Stamboli.
Johnny the Bull Stamboli. Love the full-blooded time. Was he in ECW? Oh, he was in the FBI.
He was in the FBI.
He was. I forgot. I thought he was in ECW. He was not. Super crazy. I am super. I am crazy. I am super crazy. Comes on the lawnmower. That'd be hilarious. But yeah, my money's on the one-of-a-kind competitor too, Rob Van Dam. Would love to see him at TLC in the 4-on-4 tables match. Reportedly, if it happens, at the pay-per-view in a couple weeks.